Hello, I am Asmita Shrestha, currently studying Health and Rehabilitation Studies in Toyohama Institute of Technology. My student ID number is 3002229. Today I am here to present on a topic our determinants of health. I would like to start with the definition of determinants of health. As we all know, determinants of health deals with the components that directly or indirectly influence on the health of a person, family, and community. Like how an individual is born, how he is grown up, his genetics, his socio-economic and cultural backgrounds, etc. Here are some of the factors that determines health of an individual. That contains biology and genetics. This contains the biological factor of an individual, what kind of genes and heredity he carries. And the next one is individual behavior. A person's lifestyle, his eating pattern, his sleeping and resting pattern, how much he is involved in the physical activities that are included in the individual behavior. And the next one is social behavior. How much a person is socially active in community and group of people. What is his interconnection within his family members and the community members, friends and colleagues. The next one is physical environment. The person's housing pattern, water, sanitation, etc. And the next one is health services. Either the person is access to the health services or not, and what kind of health services he gets. So these are the factors that influence on health of a person. Now let's have a look towards the rainbow model provided by Dahlgren and Whitehead in 1991. This rainbow model has three layers that are individual lifestyle factors, social and community networks, and general socio-economic, cultural and environmental conditions. It consists of the components like age, sex and constitutional factors, agriculture and food production, education, work environment, unemployment, water and sanitation, healthcare services and housing. These all are the components that influence on the health of a person, and these components are interconnected with each other. Like for example, let's take about the work environment. If the work environment where a person is working is not good, he is stressed, he cannot perform his work efficiently, and this leads person to the mental stress, and slowly the person starts to escape his job, and at the end he end up with quitting his job, and this directly leads to financial crisis in one's life. And when there is financial crisis, the person cannot be able to fulfill his requirements, his basic needs. He won't be able to afford proper balanced diet, and he will be eating the cheap and fast foods, and he won't be able to afford for the healthcare services and a good education. These all directly leads to the various kind of disease conditions in one's life. In this way, these components are interconnected with each other, and has a great impact on health of the person. Here I have chosen a disease condition, that is obesity. And obesity is a medical term used to describe the overweight of a person in relation to his height, and this is due to the excessive body fat in a person's body. And this obesity can lead to various kind of diseases like cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, etc. And here I have chosen a picture that shows the 10 most obese countries on the earth, and it clearly shows that New Zealand stands on the second rank to be the most obese country on the earth. So the obesity has been a major problem in the health of New Zealand population. Showing the interconnection between the layers of rainbow model. Here we have got individual lifestyle factors, like a person's individual behavior, his living style, his eating pattern, rest and sleeping habits, involvement in physical activities, and presence of any kind of hazardous behavior like smoking, intake of drugs, etc. falls under the individual lifestyle factors, and this that influence the health of the respective person. The next one is general socioeconomic, cultural, and environmental conditions. Where the person is born, how he is grown up, his family background, cultural environment, his financial status, socioeconomic conditions, and the surrounding environment, housing, water and sanitation, etc. falls under the general socioeconomic, cultural, and environmental conditions. And the next one is social and community networks. Now a person's relation and networking to the society members, his friends, colleagues, and his co-members in his work environment falls under the social and community networks. And regarding to the disease condition obesity, various kinds of individual components of individual lifestyle like luxurious lifestyle, intake of high calorie diet, less physical activities can cause obesity in a person's life. And when a member in a family is obese, due to the same fooding pattern, the other members are also prone to get obese. And when the person people are when the people are obese, due to their obese body structure, they face different kinds of problems like bullying from the society members. And due to this, the self-esteem decreases, the sense of worth decreases, and they start avoiding group of people, they start avoiding interacting to the society members and participating in various kind of community activities. And gradually they are isolated from the society. And due to this, the community is also hampered as the community lost its active member. In this way, these all components interact with each other and may lead to a disease condition. Here I have taken a bar graph that shows the obesity proportion of obese population in New Zealand, categorized by the age and sex. This data was taken in 2015 to 2016. This bar graph clearly illustrates that the children are less affected by the obesity, while the elder has the more number of obese population. Especially female of age group 45 to 54 has the highest number of obese population. In conclusion, I would like to briefly describe about the topics that I have covered in this presentation, and that is the definition of determinants of health. As we already discussed, that determinants of health deals with the components that directly and indirectly impacts on the health of a population, like where a person is born, how he is grown up, his family structure, cultural background, and financial status, genes, genetic factors, heredity, etc. And the next one was I talked about the rainbow model by Dahlgren and Whitehead. This model consists of three layers that are individual lifestyle factors, social and community networkings, and general socio-economic, cultural and environmental factors. And this model consisted of various components that interconnected with each other, affecting the health of a person. And I chose the disease condition, that is obesity. And as you have already seen that the obesity has been a growing problem among the population of New Zealand. And we also noticed that New Zealand has stand in the second rank among the most obese countries in the world. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.